Pro-Palestinian protesters disrupted Denver City Council's meeting tonight as they discussed a ceasefire resolution. Council finished the meeting virtually and voted down the resolution for a ceasefire between Israel and Hamas. That vote was not close. Denver City Council rejected the ceasefire call 8-4.
Nearly 50 cities across the country have passed resolutions or proclamations calling for a ceasefire, including Chicago, Seattle, and San Francisco.
Tonight, Denver City Council also tried and failed to override the first mayoral veto of this administration. And that means that Denver will continue to be able to sweep homeless encampments when it falls below freezing. Homeless advocates and doctors have said that sweeping homeless encampments during freezing weather can lead to deaths if people are separated from their belongings. While Mayor Mike Johnston says the city doesn't plan to do large sweeps in freezing weather unless there is open shelter space, this veto reverses his campaign promise not to sweep those encampments in the freezing cold.
The thrust of the mayor's letter is that removal of people from their shelters during cold weather should be rare during his administration. We've just been collecting examples of people who have experienced being swept when it was cold outside, and that could be under a lot of different city authorities.
Not one vote changed tonight from the original 7-6 tally. They would have needed a 2/3 majority to override the mayor. The city is now testing out a compromise of sorts, a week-long trial of a 24/7 cold weather shelter at the Coliseum before temperatures actually dip below freezing.
Thousands of migrants from Denver are not being moved into schools in Lakewood.
But false claims by conservative leaders in that city brought more than 100 people out to a city council meeting tonight to oppose that non-existent plan. 9 News reporter Kelly Rinke joins us from that meeting where they are expected to go late tonight, Kelly, even after city leaders reiterated that they're not interested in becoming a sanctuary city and housing Denver's migrants.
Yeah, Kyle and Kim, City Council is prepared to hear public comment until at least 11:30 tonight. But before public comment is beginning, the city manager reiterated Denver is not asking Lakewood to house migrants. But the migrant crisis is the reason that this room is full tonight. The city manager gave a brief overview of her meeting with Denver leaders last month. City Council had asked her to take this meeting to see how Lakewood can be a partner. Tonight, she said Lakewood is not being solicited for housing. She explained how Lakewood has committed to help, such as referring people to services in Denver.
Denver invites Lakewood and community members throughout the metro area to participate in volunteer and donation opportunities that can help the migrant newcomers. This is only if you're interested.
The meeting started at 7 p.m. and soon we do expect people who came tonight to talk about migrants to have an opportunity to speak if they signed up. We will see how they respond to the city manager's report on her meeting with Denver leaders. Kyle.
Adding to the bizarre situation there tonight, Kelly, they got what's being called Nazi bombed. This has happened at a number of local public meetings and around the country where people call in to comment anonymously, remotely, and spew all kinds of anti-Jewish, anti-Semitic garbage. This went on for quite a while tonight.
Yeah, really disgusting language, quite frankly. And at one point, city council members decided to walk out of the room. But when caller after caller kept reiterating this language, the mayor decided to call for a recess. And it looks like they are back to their meeting. But it doesn't look like public comment for the reason people came has begun yet.
Yeah, they're now taking those remote public comments by recording only. Kelly Rinke, thank you.
Pretty good day out there, Kathy. It was sunny and warm, you know, another bumpy weekend.
Yep, that's been our pattern, Kim, the last 3 weeks, and it looks like the pattern will continue this week. We have kind of a dry northwest flow aloft that's transporting in a few high clouds, but for the most part, high pressure is our dominant feature. So the big storm that we're tracking is actually east of Colorado. This system will move up the eastern seaboard as the jet stream winds carry it into a pocket of cold air, becoming a nor'easter that will affect at least 20 million people with winter weather advisories. Our weather pretty quiet for the next 72 hours. There is another system offshore that will make its way here eventually with a little mountain snow on Thursday and maybe some light snow for Denver on Friday, but not tonight. Comfortable temperatures in the low 40s, dropping 10 degrees around midnight. Coming up after a mild, calm evening, a warm, dry week, we're going to talk much more about the storm and potential for snow in Denver on Friday. That's just ahead.
A backcountry skier died in an avalanche near Crested Butte yesterday. It's Colorado's second avalanche death of the season. The Colorado Avalanche Information Center says the slide happened in the area of Anthracite Ridge, known locally as the Playground. It's east of Ohio Peak. The skier's partner found him, pulled him out of the snow, but it was too late. The victim's name has not been released.
My first thought is everybody in our office, let's get out, let's move the vehicles, let's be safe. And then little do I know that, there's a child next door who can't get out and, loses his life. It's sad.
Tonight, police and fire in Thornton are searching for answers about what caused a house fire that led to the death of a child. Crews were called out just after noon Friday to a home in a neighborhood off Washington Street, just north of I-25 and 88th Avenue. 9 News reporter Rachel Krause spoke with one man who saw the fire unfold and the actions that ultimately did save lives.
Yeah, it's really sad.
For many, Monday marks the return of the work week. For Nathan Hill, the day feels strange.
Yeah, you go into the office, it smells clean, but you go out to the backyard and you could just smell forest fire.
Friday afternoon, Hill was at work when a stranger knocked on the door of his real estate office, telling him there was a fire next door.
I poke outside, I see the flames, the smoke.
The man, who Hill calls a good Samaritan, ran to the house to alert those inside about the fire. He says first an elderly man, then a younger man came out.
Then they say there's a kid in there.
So the Good Samaritan ran inside to search.
They tried to save the little boy, and Good Samaritan said, I couldn't breathe, I couldn't see, I had to get out. And then, then the fire trucks and the police officers and everything just swarmed in.
Officers searched the home too. They were all too late.
I think it was the mother on the street. She was screaming like when she found out the kid didn't make it, and then people were just consoling her, and that was the hardest thing to see.
The child, a little boy, died. The 3 police officers who helped search the home for the child were taken to a hospital to be treated for smoke inhalation. Hill says while the Good Samaritan's fast actions saved 2 lives that day, he wishes it were 3.
I don't know how you can get through something like that. It's hard.
Investigators are now searching for what caused this fire. That's a question Hill wants answered too.
I just hope it was an accident and not negligence or something bad happened, because the child didn't deserve to die.
Thornton Fire and Police Department say this fire is still an active investigation. They're asking anyone with any information about what happened to contact police.
Something anyone around there will not forget for a long, long time. Such a terrible thing to witness. Thank you, Rachel. Relatives of a woman killed Friday night now tell us she died protecting her cousin. Family members identified Voltrice China Little as the woman who was shot on Paris Street in Aurora. They say that Little was at her cousin's house, DeAndre A. McCain, when someone came in shooting. McCain claims she was supposed to be the target.
My child's father got in somehow, some way. He was coming after me. The first shot, he shot once, and it flew past my ear. And my cousin was standing right next to me, and she jumped in front of me to, try to protect me. He kept shooting, so.
Police arrested Kellen Lewis yesterday in the shooting. He is now facing a first-degree murder charge. Little leaves behind her parents, her brother and sisters, and her 4 children.
A cyber attack caused judges across the state to postpone some court cases today. The data breach impacted the state's public defender computer system. The office says they had to shut down their network, and they're working to bring it back online. That means the public defenders don't have access to anything on their system, including their emails, case information. It's not clear how soon the system might be restored or just how many cases are postponed.
Hundreds of students in Denver walked out of class today to support their teachers. Budget cuts for DPS could lead to layoffs. Students at Denver School of the Arts say their current teachers help make school a safe space, and losing any of them would be detrimental to their learning. DPS says low enrollment is one reason that they have to make cuts, and those cuts could include teachers.
Seeing this problem happen so close to a place that in just a few months I've been able to start calling home it angers me and it scares me.
We're trying to be as transparent as possible while also understanding that the teachers that are going through this and the staff members that are going through this are dealing with a very sensitive time.
Right now, we don't know how many teachers will be cut, if any. The school is expected to make that announcement within the next few weeks.